Hi, everybody. Coming up on 5 o'clock now, I've got an update here for you on Tropical Storm Idalia. We're watching this closely because we have new tracks, new impacts that we're watching here, and the very latest has just come down. It's expected to now be a Category 2 hurricane at landfall, and that's the National Weather Service, as I mentioned this morning. They are step-by-step increasing this. You won't see big swings from the National Hurricane Center. Parker, you on the TV? There's my 6-year-old. Hi, Parker. Why don't you go back over there a little bit, okay? Yeah, we're watching it here. My little buddy's over here helping me a little bit today. Simply put, we have got to watch this closely as we are going to see some impacts in the Carolinas one way or the other. But the strong hurricane impacts look to be reserved for Florida. That's where the highest impacts are going to be. But like I mentioned earlier, the National Hurricane Center is not going to just jump this up significantly. They are going to step by step do that. That's why you've seen it go from a Cat 1 to a Cat 2. And it very, very well is possible that this could be a major hurricane making landfall. We're seeing signs and trends in that today to where as this thing moves forward, we'll need to watch it. I want to show you this first. WYFF4 is the place to go. You go right to our website, WYFF4.com. You can stream our last newscast. Here's the one from this morning. So you can get the latest if you're just checking back in. And right there on the homepage, you can get the forecast. Here's Perella's from this morning. You get the latest track, get the latest computer models right there, and the latest news from today. And it's a great resource, too, if you're watching this from home. Maybe you're on the go this week. It's a good idea to keep checking back in there. And it's also a good idea to have the WYFF4 mobile app downloaded on your phone. My family does, not just because I work at WYFF4, but because honestly it's a great tool. If warnings or watches are posted for your area, it uses your GPS to let you know, okay, if you're on vacation, okay, now we're under a warning or we're under a watch, and you're able to kind of take action accordingly. All right, so the latest track just came out. The 5 o'clock advisory now has this thing moving northeast at 3 miles per hour. I got to tell you, folks, what's wrong with this situation is it has basically stalled out today. It went from moving north at 10 miles per hour yesterday to 7 to 3, and then it started moving southeast at 3 miles per hour earlier today. Now it's starting its slow move toward the north, and that's where we're at right now. Winds are at 40 miles per hour. It's moving northeast at 3 miles per hour. Brand new track just came out. Let's analyze this. And again, it's now expected to be a Category 2 hurricane at landfall, according to the National Hurricane Center. This would have winds at 100 miles per hour. And again, that's the National Hurricane Center doing its thing. They are very cautious. They're very measured in their approach, as they should be. You know, they've got a lot of people that depend on their forecast here. And when you're talking about swinging, you don't want to have a big swing from a Cat 1 to a Cat 3. You're going to see it step up. It would not at all surprise me to eventually see this as close to a Cat 3. Another trend today has been that it's moving east. It's trending east. And the reason why is the center has been farther south, farther southeast. And when you have the mechanics that are same in the atmosphere, that causes the track to go more, if the location's down here, it's going to go more like that. Eventually, it's going to go like that anyway. It's just originally the models kind of had it pinpointed up here somewhere, and it would go more north. So the trend would be to take us out of the cone in the western Carolinas, but that means farther south, South Georgia, you've got a strong tropical storm coming your way with 60-mile-an-hour winds by Wednesday afternoon. This looks to make landfall somewhere Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, so 2 a.m. or so along the Florida coast. And it looks like it's more Cedar Key now than the Big Bend region. Locally, I do want to get to some storms that we have over us right now. Maybe you're watching from Greenville or Abbeville or Greenwood. Quite a few storms out there right now, and they're quite strong. Lots of lightning. And this is a precursor to anything tropical across the Carolinas. We're going to have some heavy rainfall today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday from a cold front coming into our area. And that's the same cold front that's going to ultimately steer Idalia. So here we are, Simpsonville to Greer to Greenville to Travelers Rest. Very heavy rainfall, cloud-to-ground lightning as well. Nothing severe right now, but we do need to watch out for that. And honestly, our greatest threat threat moving forward the next few days will be from the potential for excessive rain, ponding in the roads, creeks and streams spilling their banks. We'll have to watch out for that, as it looks like it's going to be a wet couple of days moving our way. Skycam Network, stormy just about anywhere you go. Look at that over Anderson, it's 87. A rain-cooled 73 in Asheville. Over the next 12 hours, you can count on some thunderstorms through the evening hours, and there goes a loud rumble in my house here in Greenville. 1 a.m., 60% chance of storms all the way through the overnight hours and tomorrow. You can count on it being very stormy. It's not going to be raining every second of the day, but it will be stormy just about everywhere you go. All right, let's look at the latest computer model. So we got storms that are rolling through right now as depicted by our computer model. As we go through the afternoon, evening hours, we're going to start to get more storms firing up. And here we are Monday, not raining all day. You see there's some spotty stuff, but where it does rain, it's going to be very heavy at times. And we'll look out for that. That continues Tuesday as well, as we'll likely have rounds of rain coming our way. So how does this shape up as a whole? Well, let me show you as the tropical system comes into South Georgia, on the bottom of your screen right here. Here's 1 o'clock on Wednesday. We've got some scattered rain across the area. Most of the rain will be south of the upstate. It's going to be Hilton Head. It's going to be Charleston. We're talking about a quick blast of some rain on Wednesday, 2 to 4 inches of rain. That can cause flooding in Charleston on a good day. So we'll have to watch out for that. And as it goes through 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., it's out of here by Thursday morning, according to the latest computer model. So moving fast out of here and improving conditions on Thursday to where, look at this northerly wind being yanked down by this storm. We could very well have high temperatures in the low 70s on Thursday. It will feel fantastic. So the bottom line, as I see it right now, this is subject to change. I want to tell you that. For the Western Carolinas, our impacts are going to be solely dependent upon the track that this thing takes. I expect high impacts along the Florida coast Wednesday morning, very early in the morning, really Tuesday night through Wednesday morning. And then heavy rainfall and gusty winds in Georgia and South Carolina along the coast on Wednesday. I'm talking 30, 40 mile per hour winds at this point from Savannah to Hilton Head to Charleston to Myrtle Beach, with 2 to 4, maybe even 5 inches of rain locally. So across the upstate, Western Carolinas, you could expect spotty showers on Wednesday and breezy conditions. Those gusts could get up to 30, 40 miles per hour, but we're not looking at anything severe as of now. And it looks like it clears out and turns cooler Thursday through Labor Day. We'll have to watch that. Thursday could be a wild card for us. If the system takes a more westward track, we'll still be dealing with rain on Thursday, but the trend has been farther east, farther south to where central Florida is really going to take a walloping as it stands right now. Here's the latest high-res model just came in. Boy, oh boy, it shows a strong hurricane, Cat 2, maybe Cat 3, coming into Cedar Key. Again, this is as far out as the high-res goes for me, but something like that or like that is looking pretty possible here. Panama City Beach, the trend has been just east of you today, okay, but still watching it very closely. Again, that's as far out as that model will go. All right, what are the trends today? Well, the visible satellite doing its thing. And again, folks, you got to love technology. We didn't have this 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. I mean, we did. We just didn't have it to this resolution, this degree, this crispness. And that helps our models. That helps us as meteorologists determine where a center is. And we've got a real clear one showing up right in here. I mean, clear swirl, clear bubbling up with some very strong thunderstorms. This thing is really getting its act together, and storms are firing up all around it. You can see, as indicated by the brighter pinks and reds, deep colors, deep storms right in here. The taller the thunderstorm, the brighter the color here, and that's what we're seeing in this area as I analyze the infrared satellite. Let me turn on the wind streams. This gives us an idea of where the circulation's firing up. There's the Yucatan Peninsula right here. Here's Cuba. Just really significant rain going on there. Western Cuba and the Yucatan could get some flooding. So Idalia, northeast now at 3 miles per hour. Let's analyze that track one more time. It's expected to become a stronger tropical storm by tomorrow. Then a hurricane, it looks like, by Tuesday. And then Tuesday night, Wednesday, it is going to be a Cat 2 at landfall. So the storm right now has a lot of storm action on the east and north side. So something like that. So when you talk about it being Wednesday, 2 p.m. in here, you're going to have the worst of conditions kind of like that. And as I analyze this, it looks like the Carolinas are going to get a quick brief bout of some heavy rain and some wind. But it looks like it's in and out of here Wednesday, to where by Thursday afternoon, again, if you're looking at the impacts being on the east and north side of this, it's going to be like this. So by Thursday, it's offshore and then moving away from the United States. So if you have plans to travel for Labor Day weekend, maybe early on Thursday, Friday's a guarantee to almost be fine, but Thursday's looking up, according to the latest track. Now, the farther east it goes, the faster it's going to be in and out of the United States. The farther west it goes and travels over land, it's going to take its time and be a little slower. So I'll have to look for that. But clearly the trend today, and the clear trend in our computer models, has been for this to trend east. So Big Bend region to Cedar Key appears to be a pretty common landfall here from our computer models. Panama City Beach to Tampa is still kind of our cone, our area of possibility. You can get the windshield wiper effect to where it goes right, it goes left, it goes right. That is certainly still possible, but right now it looks like we're going to be dealing with things ramping up Tuesday and then going into Tuesday night for Tampa Bay through Panama City Beach. Now, with that said, just because it doesn't make landfall in Tampa Bay doesn't mean that there's not going to be significant impacts. As you look at folks down that way, we're talking about some serious storm surge that could go into Tampa Bay because this coincides with a moon cycle. Parker, why don't you go back over there, buddy? Come on. Go over there. Say hello to my 6-year-old, Parker. Thank you, buddy.
Where's Mom?
Mom went to get some pizza for us, buddy. Yep, she'll be back in just a minute. He's looking for Mom. Mom going to get pizza for us. Okay. See you in a minute, buddy. All right. Here we are. Tampa Bay to Panama City Beach, up through Jacksonville, South Georgia, Hilton Head Island, Charleston. It looks like it's going to go right for you. And again, it's going to be strong as it's making landfall. It will do some weakening. So if it's a Cat 2, let's just say it's a worst-case scenario, a Cat 3. It would likely weaken to a Cat 1 by the time it's crossing into South Georgia, and by the time it's moving into Hilton Head, probably a strong tropical storm at that point. Same for Savannah, Charleston. So wind damage is possible in those areas. So let me show you the three main global models. And again, we've got great consistency here. The European's a bit farther to the east. Let me zoom in for you just to kind of show you. The European would mean much better news for the Carolinas. Unfortunately, worse news for Daytona Beach to Jacksonville to Central Florida and Orlando. That'd be a more direct hit. And the European's kind of catching on to the trends. And I'm going to open up the hood of the Euro and the GFS here in just a moment. But the Canadian and the GFS American model are almost in lockstep. Let me zoom in down here. So Big Bend region for Canadian and American, and then Cedar Key for the European as of right now. Let's take the hood off of the GFS model. The one I just showed you is in yellow, but the 26 other different varieties or runs of the GFS are kind of split between Panama City Beach. I'd say the GFS is certainly more westbound than the Euro, but the good news for the Western Carolinas is pretty much all the GFS members show it not moving into the upstate. So we would get indirectly impacted. We'd be on the more tame side of this, whereas Charleston and Hilton Head would get a higher impact. The European even farther east, and like I mentioned, the European's kind of been on that trend today. It has really kind of picked up on this thing being farther south. It's done a good job at initializing, as we like to say in the weather world, and it's moving its way toward the north right there. So again, got to watch that. It looks like the worst of that would move through Orlando Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. Not ideal. Not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. So what does it look like on radar? Well, if the European model comes to fruition, we're going to have rain Tuesday anyway from a front up here. But the bulk of this system would be in Hilton Head, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach, not over the Western Carolinas at that time. So indirectly, we get breezy conditions and some rain, but by Thursday, this is out of here, and we've got a cool north breeze bringing in. Shared a little bit ago, 72 is what the model is showing for our high on Thursday. Whether it's 76, 70, 69, whatever it might be for your town, just wildly different than our 98, 99 that we've had this weekend. It's been way too hot. That will be a little bit of a shock to the system. That's almost 30 degrees cooler than what we've had today, combined with the humidity especially. All right, so here we are, the GFS model coming in stronger and a little bit farther to the west. It's more toward Mexico Beach and Panama City. Is likely Cat 1, Cat 2. It's feisty with its landfall. Then it moves into South Georgia. Because it's a little bit farther west, it does bring heavier rain to the western Carolinas and the upstate, Atlanta, Greenville, Charlotte, Wednesday evening. And then Thursday, it's pushing through the Carolinas early in the morning. So you might wake up to rain on Thursday, but the rest of the day would be fine. And again, bringing in that cooler wind from the north. All right, so here's the high-resolution model. This model did a fantastic job at tracking Ian this time last year. So we really have to give it some credit and really take it for what it's worth. It's been showing the system really ramping up into a Cat 2, maybe even Cat 3. Like I mentioned earlier this morning, the models are showing a major Cat 3. At least some of them are. Our HWRF, it'd be the hurricane-specific models. The ships at times has really said a strong hurricane landfall. So we have to watch it. NAM, the high resolution models, this in-house model, this is one that WYFF4 has special access to. Our in-house blend showing Cat 2, Cat 3 all day. It's really unfortunate here. It's offshore, 10 p.m. Tuesday. Here it goes approaching Cedar Key, Big Bend region. 2 a.m. Wednesday. This would be same timing as the rest of the models. Here we are Wednesday morning with a landfall that could be really, really strong there in the Big Bend region of Florida. Then it moves toward the north. That's as far as the model goes, folks. We'll have 6 more hours added to that once we got our evening model in. What does that look like wind-wise? Well, it really wants to tighten this thing up, and Central Florida gets in on some tropical storm winds early on Wednesday morning, and here's landfall. You got 60, 70 mile per hour winds in Orlando to Tampa Bay. And again, got to watch out for the storm surge here on the West Coast. That's pretty significant, especially if it coincides with the unusually high tides from the moon cycle. All right, so rainfall totals at this latest computer run would show the upstate not getting much, if any, rain directly related to the tropical system. It would be more Myrtle Beach to Charleston to Hilton Head and Savannah if it takes that track that it's showing right now. And again, the reason why it's now showing Cat 2, I mentioned it earlier, Cat 3 is showing up on our computer models is because here's where it kind of sits, and here's the path it's kind of taken. It went from there to here. Now it's starting to turn its way back toward the north, and that's where it's going. So it's traversing through an area that's basically fueling it and strengthening it. So again, we got to watch it. So what's behind it? If you have Labor Day weekend plans to travel to the coast, we're going to be just fine. Not expecting any weather impacts other than it actually being quite comfortable. We're not going to see the high impacts anymore from that. So folks, what we're going to talk about here moving forward is now is the time to prepare along the Florida coast. If you haven't already, it's time to get those hurricane preps in order. Get those ready so that should something happen in your neck of the woods, you're prepared. Be prepared to leave if you're on the Florida coast, Cedar Key to Mexico Beach. Those areas could take somewhat of a direct hit depending on where you're at. So we need to be prepared for all of that. My commitment here on WIFF4 and our team is to keep you posted along the way. We're going to keep you informed, let you know, so you and your family can make decisions to keep you safe. In the Western Carolinas, we appear to be just fine from this system as of the current track. Of course, we'll be watching it closely here. And if you don't already, you're watching on YouTube right now. Now's a good time to subscribe to my YouTube page. I do long-form tropical updates on that, and we'll keep you posted when it comes to severe weather all along the way. And in case of that, today we are watching storms that are firing up right now in the Western Carolinas. Griffin will be on WYFF News 4 in about 45 minutes. He'll be tracking these closely as there's quite a bit of thunder and lightning at my house in Greenville right now. It's really coming down. Lots of lightning, heavy rainfall through Simpsonville, Five Forks, I-85, and it's pushing into Spartanburg County. Got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings up here toward Cleveland County, North Carolina. That's heading toward the Charlotte metro area. Lake Norman, if you have family or friends could be on the lake, it's about to get rough there. Lake Hartwell, got storms all around you. Same thing with Kiwi. Even though the storms might have moved out from earlier, you're about to get another round of it right now. So again, what you can count on, we'll have another update tonight at 11 o'clock with a track. Griffin is on WYFF News 4 in about 40 minutes. Make sure you tune in there. And then Perella, first thing tomorrow morning. Make sure you wake up and watch. This thing's changing by the day, by the minute. You want to stay informed. You want to keep checking back in, because it's one of those situations where a little change will have big impacts, okay? Simply put, a stronger hurricane now expected to make landfall. Cat 2 is what's on the track. Some of our models are showing even stronger than that is possible. I'll keep you posted, folks.